DM Top 13. Whoa! Hello, everybody. Smile the DM back here with another Top 13 list. I know you guys have been waiting for a long freaking time for this, but what do we got today for this Lost Tapes year? And oh, wait a minute. Oh
no.
You guys really are serious about this? Alright, I'll do it. So, thank you so much, Edgar Allan Flo, for the suggestion of this year's video. Even if this wasn't my favorite thing to do. But I said, okay, I'll take it as a challenge. So, I just want to remind people about this. I want to say something before I start. This, once again, is my personal, worst episodes of Lost Tapes. So, don't get me wrong. There is going to be a lot of criticism in this video. Trust me, there is. And you can, express your feelings down in the comment section down below. And I will try my best to not be hypocritical about your opinion or you being hypocritical about mine. Let's put it at that. You may agree with me on these choices that I have, and some of you may disagree. And that's completely fine. I don't want to argue too much down in the comments. I really don't. Secondly, I don't hate this show. I really don't. And some of these poor episodes that I have on the list, I still do watch to this day. I'll even remark the episodes that I do still watch in that little section. It's just that I guess I could say based off critique, I don't like them, but I still watch them, except for number 1. But that's besides my point. I digress. So, let's dive straight into this one, fellas. Shall we? Number 13. Oh boy, here we go. You know what? I'm just gonna say it right here, right now, just to end this. Lizard Man at number 13. I'm gonna tell you right now. Lizard Man, I like, but then I also don't like it at the same time. And I don't know why. I've got a feeling in my heart and in my soul that it's just okay. It's not good. It's not bad either. It's just okay. And I feel like putting Lizard Man on 13 is okay of an option because it's just the standard Lost Tapes episode. Let's put it at that. I guess season 2 kind of started putting the standard on Lost Tapes. But, yeah, Lizard Man is just okay. I don't personally enjoy, watching it several thousand times. But I also don't mind sitting down and watching it every so often. Because it is sort of okay. It's not great, but it's okay. And Lizard Man, in my sense of the word, is just the standard episode for Lost Tapes. And then you kind of just build upon that episode. So, at number 13, I have Lizard Man. Number 12. Okay, yeah, here we go. At number 12, I have Mothman. Now, a lot of you are going to hate me when I say this, but here's my problem with Mothman. It's the fact that you don't see people die. I guess, okay? It's pretty realistic, and it has some historical value to it, but I don't like it. I feel like it's pretty goddamn boring, and it just focuses more on the people than it does on the creature itself. I get it, it's one gigantic freaking episode that's based off in the past, which we haven't had those episodes quite yet. In the newer seasons, we haven't had those episodes where they're like back in the 70s or the 80s or something like that. They haven't really gone that far back. It's only when like the 2000s we filmed these. I'm like, yeah, but this is the one episode I feel like has, you know, tested the times. But at the same time, it's okay. It's not good. I only watch this every so often because it's there, but in my heart, and I know you guys love Mothman so goddamn much, but I just don't think Mothman's that good. I really don't think it's that good, and I don't see why it's so good. So that's why Mothman's at number 12.
She's scared to death of this bridge. And I said, why? And she said, I'm just afraid it's going to fall. And that was 13 days before the bridge fell.
Number 11. Okay, alright. Another season 1, Smaug, really? I'm like, yeah, because, and this is going to be a thing that a lot of people are not going to like me about, but season 1 has a lot of boring episodes to it, and I think that's just me personally, but season 1, I just don't have enough fondness to it. And that's the same thing with number 11. Number 11, Swamp Creature. Now, the only bloody reason I would ever go back and watch this episode, like I ever would, is because of the day that it's being recorded on, which is October 13th, 2006, I believe it is, or it's 2007. And then I like see that time period, and I'm like, oh hey, I'm this old when this film was recorded. And granted, it's all fake. Sorry. I've already discussed that several times with the other top 13s, that Lost Tapes is a fake show. But, you know, for the time being, like, that I didn't know that it was fake, I went, holy shit, that's around my birthday, god damn it. So, if any of you wanted to know when my birthday was, there it is. That's the episode for you. But other than that, Swamp Creature's not scary. It doesn't, the monster doesn't kill anybody. It's okay, I guess. It talks about how Hurricane Katrina came in and destroyed the swamp and all the alligator populations. But other than that, it's meh. It's not good. It's not bad either. And a lot of these spots have this kind of feel, like, you know, it's okay, but it's not that good. So that's why number 11, Swamp Creatures here. Number 10. Alright. I know I think I might have said this once before, but here we go again. Number 10, Oklahoma Octopus. Now, I did have to rewatch this again, and to my surprise, it was pretty goddamn realistic. I didn't think, going back to it, like, I didn't think it was that realistic, but holy shit, it was pretty realistic. But because it's being overshadowed by the Wendigo as the most realistic episode, that this one has died down a little bit. It has gone down to the grave, whereas Wendigo has basically risen. Which is a damn shame, because this one's okay too. But here's my beef with the Oklahoma Octopus episode. My beef with it is that it's a water episode, and there's a couple of these on here. I'm sorry, that's a spoiler. There are a couple of watery episodes, and here's my opinion on them. I don't like them, because basically you can hide the creature underwater and turn it into whatever. And no, I'm going to explain this a whole lot better in number 1 spot, but it's like, Oklahoma Octopus is okay. It was pretty realistic until Wendigo came, and then this was the only episode that had a creature with tentacles until Kraken came and scared the shit out of everybody. That's why Kraken is a little bit better, because Kraken is scary. Oklahoma Octopus, it's treated as like a casual. This is pretty casual of an episode, whereas the Kraken is just nuts. So this one's at number 10 because it's no longer, you know, a top tier episode anymore. It gets surpassed very quickly after you've watched season 3. Number 9. Number 9. Alright. Number 9, I still watch. I still very much enjoy this episode to this day, but I do have some complaints about it that just keep it this far low. Number 9, Megaconda. Now, Megaconda, in my eyes, is basically Titan Boa, and I have one more complaint to make, starting with this episode. Lost Tapes, I think, this is probably because of my nerdiness towards anything prehistoric, doesn't understand how to deal with extinct animals very well. I feel like Lost Tapes does this thing where they have to brush it aside or get on with it just to get to the good parts, which are explaining the real animal behaviors. And I'm like, okay, fine, but as a nerd, as a dinosaur nerd, like, I'd rather you explain it a lot better than just treating it as, like, something that needs to be brushed off. I feel like they're doing what Jurassic Fight Club did, only a little bit worse than that. Not to say that, you know, this is about as bad as Jurassic Fight Club is. No, it's not. But it treats it like it's Jurassic Fight Club levels of knowledge. So, Megaconda I really do like as an episode, and I still do love watching it to this day, but because it brushes aside the Titan Boa aspect of the animal and only focuses on the Anaconda aspect, then it's not that good. I mean, hell, even the name of the episode is just a little off-putting. Megaconda? Really? You couldn't think of a better name for this episode? But I digress. The topics they talk about are okay. I like the story of it. It's just, it's not treated too well when it comes to the information based off the animal. It's just not treated too well. So that's why Megaconda is number 9 on my list. Number 8. Alright, with number 8's entry. Thunderbird. I just... Really, before you even watch this, look at the image online for Animal Planet. Look at the Thunderbird image. You don't see a bird, right? All you see is a freaking pterodactyl. Really? Really? Like, oh my god. Oh my god. It's like Monster Quest did better with this thing. And I get it, Lost Tapes didn't have enough money to show the flight power of the creature, but Death Raptor did better than you. Freaking Death Raptor! And Death Raptor's a lot scarier than this episode. So, it's just, oh my god. This gets me a little bit upset because they brush aside the pterodactyl aspect too. There's the pterodactyl as the thumbnail for the Thunderbird, right? And then they treat the pterodactyl as something you have to get through. And then they talk about the condor stuff. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Then you should have just used a condor for the thumbnail. Good God. This episode does trigger me a little bit. Considering that, you know, this is the only episode where there's no white people, and all the characters in there are also kids. It's like, hey, it's like you can't kill off a bunch of kids, and I get that. But Thunderbird, oh my god, it's worse than Megaconda, and I barely watch this episode anymore because of that. Because of the way they treat Thunderbird as well. So Thunderbird is number 8 on my list. Move on. Number 7. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. I had a little spreadsheet. Number 7, I feel like, in my opinion, is just one of those ones that I'm not fond of. It's meh. Number 7, Deathworm. Now, okay, granted, I like the idea of the creature having both this acidic spray, and then it also has this electrical shock, like eels do, and that's kind of cool. It's just the story itself could have been done a lot better. Like, the two guys that are in there, I don't get them. I don't like them. And I kind of, it's like almost to a point where I just kind of want to see them die. But at the same time, right at the end of the episode, when the first guy, like the first place player, talks about them, he treats them like shit. And it's like, what the hell, dude? You should freaking care. But you don't. Like, the dude is almost a... Yeah, so I'm censoring that. So I'm just... this episode's story is just bleh. But the concept of the episode works. Like, the information they gave to the Mongolian Deathworm works. And I like that. It's just the story could have been so much better. And this is why I don't go back to it. Because it reminds me a little bit of Primeval with the Silurian Scorpions. If you guys ever seen that show, and I suggest you do if you're a dino nerd like I am. But it kind of reminds me of the Silurian Scorpions, and then I'm just like, well, why don't I just watch that one? Because I get that Mongolian Deathworm's there, but it's just like, the Silurian Scorpions in that show look more intimidating than the freaking worm. Sorry. Or I'd rather watch the SpongeBob episode where they have that worm destroy all of Bikini Bottom, and I'm just like, oh my god. It's just like, enough. I'm done with this one. I'm done. I have to move on before I get a little more pissed off about this one. So, number 7, Deathworm. Number 6. Now, number 6, just be warned, there are going to be a lot of triggers. Here we go. The episode that fucked up Lost Tapes for good. Number 6, Cue the Serpent God. Oh, and you guys down in the top 13 season 4 suggestions video think, creepypastas and mythos and all this other shit wouldn't exist. Well, let me tell you that this all started with this episode. Because you're now bringing Mayan culture, like a Mayan god, into Lost Tapes. Which, granted, okay, fine. It's okay. But now you open up a whole window of possibilities for mythology to come in. And that is something I would say, no, that doesn't work. Sorry. I'm sorry. With this episode, it basically now screams we can put anything mythological in there, too. So dragons will count, unicorn would count as an episode, fucking leprechauns would be an episode. Like, do you want to see a killer leprechaun or a killer gnome? Like, no, nobody wants to see that. So basically, Cue the Serpent God, in my eyes, was the one episode that completely screwed Lost Tapes over. Because now we can't have real, like, creatures anymore that are based off cryptozoology. No, now you have to tap into the realm of mythology, and that basically opens the freaking floodgates for so many other creatures. And this is why a lot of my Season 4 suggestions are that. Creepypastas, SCPs, hell, even the Indoraptor from Fallen Kingdom. This is where this shit all starts, is because of Q the Serpent God. And I don't like this episode because of that reason. And then also, look at that, watch the ending. Watch the freaking ending. Oh my god. It's so anticlimactic. Let's just put it at that. And before I just start to just rage at the computer, number 6 goes to Q the Serpent God. Number 5. Ugh. Okay. This one I still do kind of watch to this day, but there are problems with this one. Not as much as Q, don't get me wrong, which is odd for me to put it at number 5, but number 5, Deathcrawler. Oh. All it is, guys, is a 2 to 3 foot long centipede. That is it. There is nothing substantial about it other than there are a ton of creatures in this episode. So, like, what do you add? What do you add? Basically nothing, because you briefly talk about Arthropleura in the intro. And that's the only time you talk about Arthropleura. And then it's on to regular centipedes. And the damn thing looks like a Scolopendra Gigantea, which they do talk about in the episode too. And it's just like, I feel like it's stupid. It is very stupid when they talk about it. So, it's just, oh my god. And then these scientists are such idiots. I mean, the lady's kind of smart, but the dude is just, like, there. He doesn't have really anything significant going on. He's just there. I think I feel like there's one saving grace in all of this, is the fact that it goes back to the 90s, right? And there's this Spanish survey team that's out there, and that whole segment where they're just being killed off by the freaking centipedes is so goddamn cool. There's a lot to talk about that, and I think they talk about it briefly in the beginning part of the episode, and then they go to where they have to actually find the medical stuff, so it's kind of a plot relevant kind of thing. But other than that, it's pretty goddamn cool. So number 5 goes to Deathcrawler. Number 4. It kills me because there's so many season 1 episodes here. So many. And I'm getting all the rage. But let me tell you something. At number 4, we have Devil Dragon. Basically, the whole premise of this episode is off the Megalania, right? Which is twice the size as our modern Komodo dragons. And they talk about Komodo dragons, which I'm like, okay, that's perfectly fine, because other documentaries have done that. But the way that this episode works is kind of a little ridiculous, don't you think? Because the survival dude, being a survival dude, should know the second he gets bit by something out in the Australian outback, or the Australian rainforest, he should immediately fucking go somewhere to get healed. He should immediately go get medical attention, because there are, like, several venomous snakes, there's several different animals already. If you take out the Megalania, there are already enough species out in the Australian rainforest that will instantly kill him if he does not get the medical attention he seeks. And you throw this thing into the mix, and it's just... oh, he's kind of an idiot. The dude in this episode's kind of an idiot. And he doesn't realize that he's an idiot until it's too late. But it's just the premise of this episode is off Megalania, and that's totally fine. But it kind of treats the damn thing like it's a freaking Komodo dragon. It treats it like it's a Komodo dragon, and I understand that that's Megalania. But at the same time, it's like, is this necessary? No, this was not necessary. So number 4 goes to Devil Dragon because what's the point? It's just a Komodo dragon. Yay. Number 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, as a dinosaur lover, and that knows about sea reptiles, this episode, I swear to God, why? Why was this a plan? Number 3, White River Monster. And it's... the whole premise is on a surfactanus, and you treat it like it's smaller than it is. Oh my god. Oh, like the little tiny area where all these guys are like fishing the catfish shouldn't be able to hold a surfactanus. If a surfactanus is so big that it can eat human-sized fishes, then the body of water that it's there, the thing should be sticking out like a sore thumb. It should look like it's a beached whale in that little area. It shouldn't be that so tiny that you can see the face of it coming towards you. And I swear to God, they show this the White River Monster's face so goddamn much that it's almost cringe-worthy to look at. Like, I love what Lost Tapes designers do, but this is so bad. It's like they took a what do you get at, like, those stores? Ah, that's it. They took, like, one of those piranha fish skeletons that you get at, like, an Acme or a Walmart, and they kind of stick it in the water, and then they said, alright, well, there's the White River Monster there. Done. Don't need to do anything else. It's like, the characters I do like, I kind of like how it's set up, almost. But the actual creature itself is the worst part of the episode, and that should be the biggest problem. Also, it's a water episode, so you can barely see the thing. I just want to point that out. This thing is in water too, and oh my god, it's not boring to say the least, but it's very, very bad. So, number 3 goes to White River Monster. Ugh.
It's big. It's 15 to 20 feet long.
Number 2. Number 2, I want to just say, has scales. Okay. Picture this. Alien was so good that I didn't even mind the aliens being, bug-like. But then you get the humanoid version. Number 2, Reptilian. Oh, I can't even. First of all, it talks about teenagers and how they fucking party, and then they all go missing because they're a bunch of dumbasses that can't defend themselves. Okay, fine. The creature barely turns into a reptile at all in this whole episode. Barely does. So it stays in its humanoid form. It doesn't change shape, nothing like that. And then the way that it's, like, executed is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And this is the last episode for Season 3. I just want to point this out. This is the last episode that we've ever gotten from Lost Tapes. And to be fair, this is the last episode. It's got a little bit of charm to it, but it's so bad. It's just like there's hanging bodies that are just wrapped up. It's hard for me to describe how bad it is until you've seen Alien from season 2. Go watch Alien, and then go watch Reptilian, and you will see how bad this is. Like, they treat the fucking alien as it's just a humanoid. As it's this another humanoid that they have to deal with. And it's just... It's bad. It's very, very bad. And I can't describe it very well unless you watched Alien. So, at number 2 goes to Reptilian. Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just like the promoter guy said. All you have to do is just follow them. Kind of like, following the yellow brick road.
And my number 1 worst episode of Lost Tapes is... This one has all 3. This has all 3 things that I don't like about Lost Tapes. Period. It's boring as hell, it's in the water, and it deals with an extinct animal. So, number 1, Monster of Montreal, or Montreal as I like to call it. This episode, I can't watch to this day. And it's not like Vampire, in which, Vampire's scary as shit and I can't watch it. No, this is boringly bad. Like, it is so bad. And I get it that one dude thought, like, this is the first episode he watched, but at this point, I don't care. This one's so bad, I can't watch it anymore. It's so bad. It's bad. It's bad. And when I had to rewatch this, I couldn't handle myself. And it just reminds me of why I don't like this episode so goddamn much. Because it's all alone, she's all alone out there, and then she fucking, dies at the end of the episode, and you don't see the damn thing. And that's the biggest problem with this episode, is you don't actually see the damn creature. Period. You don't see it. So, the entirety of the episode, you could have been thinking of something else. Because it treats plesiosaurs like it's something they have to get through. And that's the sad part. They have to get through the plesiosaur shit just to get back to this, piece of bread of a girl. And I get it. I understand that nowadays, if I said that's a bad thing. But I'm sorry. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Because this chick, and I think she's the same chick that's in the Bigfoot episode. And I like her. This one is a piece of bread. Okay? And this episode's also in water, so I absolutely don't like it. It hides the creature itself, so that's why you don't see it. And basically, this episode, I feel like in my mind, should have been something else. You could put literally anything else in there, and it would have matched with this episode perfectly. You could have put in freaking Megalodon. You could have put in the Kraken, for all I give a damn. Anything else would have worked, too. Instead of this plesiosaur that we don't see at all. It's sad. It is so sad. Like, literally, we could have gone to freaking Scotland and called this episode the Loch Ness Monster, and it still would have worked. It still would have worked. And that's the sad part. Like, you don't get to see the creature at all, so anything you could throw in, basically anything you could have thrown in, and it would have worked. And this is the recipe for a bad episode in my heart. This is how you make a bad episode. It's like, if somebody can, you know, hypothesize that it's something else that's there instead of what they are trying to make you focus on, then that's bad. That is very, very bad in my eyes. And this is the episode I don't watch, period. Like, Vampire, I will still go back to if I want to challenge myself over again. And it still scares the shit out of me every time. But Monster of Montreal, I will avoid it like the plague. I will avoid it so badly. Like, literally, he could throw a nuke at it, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. This is how you make a bad episode. So, it's just, I can't with this episode, and I want to end it here before I get even more pissed off. So, if you guys really do agree or disagree with what I picked, then go ahead. Then we'll all discuss this down in the comments down below. Don't get me wrong here. A lot of these episodes I still do watch to this day. This one, not so much. I don't care about this one. That could go crawl in a hole and die. But that's besides my point. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for more additional lost tapes, such as this. And until next time, guys, I am the DM.
To the no, 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 no.